But we go now to the phones. 810, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is M.O.G coming to you from band practice in Highland, Michigan.
Hey, what's happening, Mog?
How you doing? By the way, M.O.G is an acronym for Man Over Government.
Outstanding.
Nice. Did you come up with that yourself?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Check us out on Facebook, M.O.G Metal.
All right, Mog, what's your answer to the Colin question of the day?
Right. Well, the reason why gun control exists is because the government is scared of the people having the guns. Because as you've seen in various other civilian uprisings, civilians can overtake the government with very primitive firearms if the civilians are behind the uprising. So when the civilians have guns, you know, they can actually uprise and overtake the government, you know, with primitive weapons, with nothing more than even a semi-automatic AK-47 or a Wasser-10, as they call it, or you know, some improvised explosive devices. You know, they can take over a government. That's why they're scared of it.
All right, Mog, you got
Because
any
the government's
examples?
scared of people.
What's your what examples do you have of that?
Huh?
What are your examples to back that up?
Well, if you look at even the well, in Egypt, you know, look at the stuff that, even though it's somewhat, it's U.S. backed, yeah, I'll give you that. But, I mean, you look at even when the U.S. government is saying Afghanistan, you know, the Afghanistan people are able to hold the United States government back with all its military might using primitive weapons. You know, they don't have the drones and the tanks that the United States government has, but they're able to withstand the imperialism of the United States using much more primitive weapons.
Now, Egypt's a bad example there. You know that, because there weren't I mean, there were violent clashes, but it was not force by protesters that was exercised at any point, at any distinct points of physical force that led to Mubarak having to leave office. But you're right, very, very correct in pointing out the dynamic in Afghanistan, where firearms, small arms, improvised explosive devices have been used by a relatively tiny, insignificant military force, if you even want to call it that, in keeping the American government at bay. You're absolutely correct there. But let me ask then, is that really the deciding factor? It seems like if the government is capable of coming and taking your guns away, it's already too late. I mean, if the government has the power to take your guns away, it means that you've already conceded as a people an incredible amount of liberty, no?
Well, yeah, that's true. If you're giving up your guns, yeah, you have conceded. Well, the American people have already conceded an incredible amount of liberty. But liberty is what you're given. You know, when you're a sailor, you're given liberty to go off on leave. You know, it's freedom. You're giving up your freedom when you go and give up your rights. You know, I mean, they're not really rights, they're privileges. The government gives you privileges, they don't give you rights. You're not given anything by the government. They'll give you privileges. The rights you have are given to you by nature, not by, a lot of people say God. I don't believe in that bullshit, but you know, they're given to you by nature.
No, hold on. Hey, hold on. I got to take issue with that, Ma, because last week God visited me in a dream and he said, "Here are your rights." So I think you're wrong.
They don't believe you, man.
I hate to tell you you're wrong, but I highly doubt that was God. I mean,
oh, it might have been the Easter Bunny.
Shit. Unicorn and the fairy and the tooth fairy also visited you and told you here are your rights too, right?
No. It was Santa Claus.
Well,
Santa Claus last year for Christmas. I went and he came. I don't know how he did it, but he came to this mall near here. No. Little Easter eggs of freedom. No. I went and I sat on Santa's lap and I said, "Dear Santa Claus, please, Mister, can I have some liberty this year for Christmas?" And he said, "Go fuck yourself." So I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have been asking him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Santa Claus can grant you anything. The fucker doesn't exist. Sorry, any kids out there listening, but he doesn't exist. Your parents are lying to you.
You know, I want to make a T-shirt that says Santa Claus isn't real. Your parents lied to you, and just see what would happen if you wore that around town.
You'd have to go to a park.
Dude,
Go to a public park.
I will buy one. If you get that, I will buy one and wear that on stage.
Oh man, that sounds like a challenge. Like now I got to do it. Shit.
Yeah,
We need some new gear anyways.
we could get correspondent videos of people going to like playgrounds with them.
All right, so Mug,
you have to make it.
why? Why does it happen? Why does gun control happen?
Well, because the government's scared, that's why. They don't want the people to have guns, because if the people have guns, they're able to actually defend themselves. They need their monopoly on force, because that's what the government thrives on, is having a monopoly on the force. When you have the ability to defend yourself, you don't have to call 911. You don't have to ask the government to come save you. When you have to ask the government to come save you, that's when they have the power, because now they have their police response time. And I don't know, in Michigan here where I'm from, the police response time in some of the areas, say in Detroit, you're looking at over an hour for the police to come to for a shooting. They'll take over an hour to come and rescue you from the shooting. The only thing they do is come and fill out the paperwork, but they want that monopoly. They want you to feel like you have to call them. You're not able to defend yourself, so you have to rely on them to defend you for you, even though they do a shit job at it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that's a very good point. You think, is that all it is? I mean, the government is just so. Would you say that there is no unique particular fear that we should have about gun control right now, if it's just part of the broader government agenda to keep you dependent?
Well, really, the fear more that they're coming up with today is no more real than what it was a year ago. Most of it is a lot of fear mongering to make you scared. Really, a lot of the stuff that's coming up. Oh my God, he's gonna come take your guns. There's a lot of stuff that's coming around because a lot of like Rush Limbaugh and stuff. They need to sell their advertising. Even the Alex Jones, they have to sell their advertising. They got to sell their diamond gusset jeans and whatever the hell else that fucker sells. So a lot of it is fear-mongering to try and keep you listening, to try and make you scared so you'll buy the products and all that. There's no more risk of him banning all the guns than there was a year ago, 2 years ago, and even under Bush. The same risk applies of him banning all guns. I highly doubt all of a sudden all guns are going to be banned.
It's a very good point.
But they need that fear. A lot of shit runs on fear.
Well, why do you think people fall for that kind of false fear mongering?
Making a gun illegal. Oh.
And by that I'm referring to Alex Jones's audience. Yes.
Hey.
Well,
hey.
Because people like living in fear. The same reason why you go and ride a roller coaster. People are looking for fear. They like fear. It makes them feel good. The same reason why people go and watch a scary movie. People like being in fear. They love living in a world of fear. They don't like living in a world of love. And it's a sad thing to say, but people want to live in fear for some reason. So they gravitate towards a world of fear.
Really? I think you're onto something, but it sounds like a bit of a stretch. I don't know how deep we're going to get into the psychology tonight. M.O.G, thank you so much for the call. Hope your band practice is as productive as listening to Adam versus the Man always is.